Hi, this is Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking. So nice to be back with you today. I'm sporting a new apron, a blue apron today, from Nora, my friend that owns a business here in the Yucatan. She actually made the apron and did the embroidering. So anybody in this area that you need anything made or embroidered, she does incredible work. I'll have the link for her at the bottom of the page. Okay, now let's move on. I'm going to make what I call my giant molasses cookies. It's that time of year. I usually make them in the fall of the year or towards the holidays. I love molasses and I love ginger snaps. So these are big cookies and they're really, really good. So let's start off with making these. I've got 3 sticks, or that's about 1.5 cups of softened butter that I'm going to put in my blender. I'll make my mixer here, okay. Okay. To that, I'm going to add either 2 large eggs or 3 medium eggs. So these are like medium eggs. So I'm going to put medium eggs, 3 medium eggs in here. There's 1. But if you have great big, huge ones, you can just add 2. I love molasses cookies this time of year, especially great big ones that have some fortitude. It's something about this time of year. Also, now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of molasses. But what I like to do is I like to spray my container that I'm going to put my molasses in. And the reason why, when I pour this in there, you'll see when I pour it out, it'll all come back out. So I'm going to pour my molasses. I need 1/2 cup. I got 1/2 cup molasses. Look at there. See my container? It's every bit of it's coming out of there where I sprayed. And that's why I like to spray, because when I get through, I don't have any molasses or very little in my container. So I make sure that I get all the molasses that I need. So now I can set that aside, okay? Now I'm going to cream these together a little bit. I love fall of the year and October, November, and December for all the spices. I love to smell the ginger and the cloves and allspice and everything that's involved with it. So I want to make sure I get this pretty well creamed. Okay, this is creamed together pretty good. So I'm going to take this up right now and I'm going to take most of this. Let me take my beater blade off here. And I'm going to scrape this down all the way around. Okay, I've got that all scraped down. We'll take this off, but I'm going to set it to the side just for a second. Let's push this back here and put this here. Now I've got my dry ingredients. I went ahead and measured out 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour. So I've got 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour in here. To that, I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. So now I'm going to sort of mix the flour and the sugar up a little bit. Okay, now to this, I've got some ginger. I'm going to add 4 teaspoons of ginger. Or at least I think I am. Okay. 4 teaspoons of ginger. After all, they are giant ginger snaps, ginger cookies. 2, 3, 4. All right, there are my 4 teaspoons of ginger. To this, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. As 1, 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Set this out of my way. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ground cloves. A bit more. I need to buy some more cloves. My cloves are getting very low here. 1 teaspoon of cloves. Then I'm going to put, like I usually do, about a fourth a teaspoon of salt in there. And then I will put 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. So that's 1 teaspoon and a half. Oh boy, I wish y'all could smell this with all these flavors coming together. It smells incredible. Now I'm going to stir these. I want to mix this up really good so I get all the spices and the flour really mixed up together, because I want the spices to be all within my flour. Okay, I've got this pretty well incorporated. It's all mixed up in here now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wet ingredients and I'm going to actually pour that right into my dry ingredients. I want to get all of it out, every delicious part of it. And now we'll take my time and stir this around until I get this really well incorporated, because this will actually be my cookie. Now I will tell you, while I'm stirring this right now, I think I'll stop. I'm going to add about 1/3 cup of really crushed pecans. I took pecans in a Ziploc bag and took my rolling pin and I crushed them this morning. This is something I like to do. You don't have to do it, and it's not a whole lot, it's just 1/3. But it gives it a little extra something in the cookie. So give me a second while I get this all mixed up, then we'll come back and we'll start making our cookies. I got this mixed up as far as I can go with my spoon. So now the fun part, I'm going to really get into it. Get all this off that I can get off my spoon. I don't want to miss a single part of this dough, okay? All right, now I'm going to actually get in here and work this into a ball and make sure that I have all the flour and everything off the bottom. We'll bring it up from the bottom, making me a great big molasses ball of dough here. I see there is a little bit of flour in the bottom, of the very, very bottom. Let me get to the bottom and pull all that up. Okay. I've brought this up from the bottom and I've got it just about all the flour. There's a little bit of flour on the bottom right there, but that's okay. We've got this pretty well incorporated. Now, I'm gonna wipe my hands off. Now I've got my cookie sheets already, and I've got parchment paper cut for them. And I've got my great big cookie scoop. I'm gonna scoop it a little bit out. And then I'm gonna take it in my hands. I'm gonna roll it into a ball. And I've actually got a bowl of sugar here that I've got part brown sugar and part white sugar in. And I'm gonna actually just sort of roll that around the sugar a little bit. And then I'm gonna actually put it here on my sheet. Now, I'm gonna have to keep these about 2.5 inches apart, which means I might have to be baking for a while, because these do spread out, and these are big cookies. Like I said, these are big molasses cookies, and they turn out beautiful and they taste beautiful. So you won't be able to get so many at a time on your baking sheet. But these make wonderful gifts too. Put like 2 of these in a Ziploc bag. Get some yarn or twine. put some twine around it, put a little piece of holly on the top of it, or fall leaf, put a fall leaf on there, and take it to somebody's house and just said, hey, I was thinking about you, and there's 2 great big cookies that they could have with their cup of coffee, or and this makes a nice gift. All right, that should be the first tray. All right, my oven's been set on 350. Okay, let me go ahead and got those already. Let me do my next tray, and then I'll come back before we put them in the oven. Okay, I've got these all rolled in sugar. My oven, like I tell you, was set at 350. Now I'm gonna let these cook for like anywhere from 13 to 15 minutes. What I want them to do is start crackling a little bit on the top, and then I'll know they're ready. So I'm gonna put these in the oven, and I'll be back to you in 13 to 15 minutes. Welcome back. Our giant molasses cookies are out of the stove, and they look fantastic. And this makes a huge amount. I'm gonna show you right here. I've got some more on a cooling rack that are cooling, and I've got another batch in the oven. So this makes a lot of big molasses cookies. So I'm gonna take one of these beautiful cookies. Look at the bottom of them. Look inside, how beautiful that is. But it's gonna be more beautiful inside me. Oh, can you hear that crunch? Crunchy on the outside, soft in the center. I'm a happy camper at the moment. I'm gonna get me a glass of milk later on, sit down, put my feet up, and really enjoy these giant molasses cookies. Try these for the holidays. Like I said, you know, put 2 or 3. These, look, they fill my whole hand. Put like, 2 or 3 in a little bag, and take some twine and twine them off. They make wonderful gifts for people. Thank you so much for following me. I'll have a lot more to bring to you in the next couple of weeks for the holidays. Thanks for following me on Facebook and subscribing to me on YouTube. Your support means the world to me. Until next time I see you, give yourself a great big hug and know that I'm thinking about you. God bless.